Welcome back to my studio, and we're going to continue with the daffodil design, and we're going to use some masking fluid. Now, I don't know if you've ever watched me do this, but I start out with an older brush, like a nylon bristled brush, and I always make sure I use pink soap on the bristles first. And what this does is it doesn't allow the masking fluid to dry on your brush and ruin your brush. So that's an important item to have. It's $5.99 at Hobby Lobby. Speedball makes it, and it's called pink soap. And then I like to use the drawing gum. I've tried a couple other masking fluids lately, and I have not been real thrilled with them. This one has been okay. It dries fairly quickly, so you got to make sure that you use it. It's kind of a aqua blue in color, so when you put it down, you can tell that it's on your paper where it is. Okay, and then now I bought some, and I've never used either one of these two. This is a pen by, I think it's Schmecky. It's a German product, and let's see what the tip looks like. So it's got a nice tip on it. We should be able to do some thin lines. That's the goal. Sometimes with the brush gets all gunky and you can't get the lines as thin as you would like. And then I'm also using a masking marker, they call it, and just Creole, K-R-E-U-L, and this one is a fine marker. I ordered this on Amazon, and it took forever, weeks and weeks to come. It must have come right from Germany. That's the only thing I can think of. It should be a bluish color as well, so we can see it, and this one's the same. So we'll test those two out, and I think I want to do the lines in here. That's going to be our center of interest. If you take your design and you cut it into thirds this way, thirds this way, and you never want to go in the center of those thirds, so you want to go where one of the lines cross, and this is perfect. So we're going to have some of the orange, some of the yellow, some of the darker values. Right there is going to be our center of interest. So that's going to be where I want to put this highlight. I want to keep that nice and light, and I don't want the background to get on there even by accident, or even the yellows that and orange that we're going to be putting in there. So I'm going to try this one first by Schmecky and see. Now, I didn't draw this absolutely accurately, so I just want to make sure, okay, that I get this in the right spot here. Yeah, it comes out pretty quick. So you don't want to press too terribly hard. But it's nice and blue. I like that. So it's kind of a review on these products too, all at the same time, which is nice. And it makes a fairly thin line. I like that too. Okay. Kind of spread it around here. And right in this area, it's going to be, I want it to be a little thicker, not quite that thin. Oh, look at that, not too bad. All right, so let's put that product away. And just to try out this other one, aha. I don't want to go right to my see if I can't get this started. I just don't want to do it on top of my design here. Well, huh. Oh, it's like a little brush. Can't really push the product. And unfortunately, there's no English directions. Okay, there's a picture on here, so let me grab my magnifying glass and see what does the picture have to say. Ah, you got to shake it and then push down and then go ahead. Okay, let's try that. So cover it back up while I shake it. Aha, you can hear little balls in there. Push down. Okay, I did that. It's starting to come out. All right. So I don't know if you could see me doing that, but I'll move it over here so I know you can. That's not too bad either. That's nice and thin. All right, so I'm going to just kind of go around a couple little places that I want to maintain the white. Well, that's a nice color that you can definitely see, which is good. All right. And I'm going to do another one up here, next to that. Now, any lines that you would put this on, and then after you take it off once it's nice and dry, the lines will probably be gone, which is not a bad thing. There are times that you can't get those lines off, but I'm gonna put some more up here. That'll be pretty. To do one over here, edge of that petal, and then right up in here. And there's one down here. Looks like this will dry fairly quickly, which is nice. Okay. Out to the tip. There's kind of a fold there where this is the top petal that comes out. So, okay. Keep my hand out of it. But with this one, you do want to have a scrap piece of paper here to try it out on and get it started. It was just needed to be started. There we go. So we've got the Schmecky pen there, and this is the Creole pen there. So we'll put those two away. I think we'll see. I don't believe I'll have an issue with either one of them, actually. It looks pretty good. It's nice that they're able to get those. I was trying with a little tiny brush, and there's times I was just using a real little tiny brush, like, well, not that one, like this one. And you're really taking a chance that you're going to end up losing that brush. So you got to be really careful with those. Now I'm going to just go to a little bit larger brush, if I can find one. Aha, this will work. And the first thing you want to do is you want to eye pour some of the pink soap right into the cap. And then you're not ruining your whole jar by dipping your brush into the jar. So I'm just loading my brush up with that paint. And I'm going to do the same thing with the drawing gum, Pebeo, P-E-B-E-O. Put some in my cap. And then I'm just going to pick it up with the tip of my brush. I'm going to put it right on the edges of the flowers. I don't want any of the paint from the background to get on the flowers themselves and the stems. It's pretty much the same color, a little bit more aqua. Reload as you need. Now if you're going to have background right up the middle of that, which we will, you want to do the whole outside and the stem. I'm going to take the stem down a little bit further. To that. Picking up some more of the color. I'm going to fill that in. And again, I'm starting in the upper left-hand side so I don't get my hands in it as best as I can. Just looking at our design here to see. We're going to have enough of the background made up as far as colors that if we need to fill something in, not a problem. We'll be able to. Anything that's going to be on the outside, you want to cover up. Now, a lot of people say don't use a hairdryer on this. I always do. It doesn't, never had an issue with it. Some people say it's really, really hard to get off. I don't ever leave it sit very long. And maybe that was the reason they had an issue with it, but I never have. And you just want to make sure you get your background nice. So that's making the outside line of your flower. doesn't take a whole lot of the masking gum, drawing gum they call it. I knew it was something gum, I had to look. Drawing gum. Doesn't take a whole lot at all. Cover that one right up. It doesn't take a lot of time. I had to chuckle while I was looking at my art books this week just to get some ideas on the background colors that I was thinking of. And reading, I have a couple Susan Bordeaux books. I think that's all she's ever made is two, at least as far as I can find anyway. I buy my books used on eBay. And she used to, she's the lady that did all the, oh, fabulous artist, did all the birds and gorgeous, gorgeous flowers. Got one of her videos too, which is kind of fun. Haven't watched it in a while. Probably should. But she always does a really great detail of a fence or something too. It's just, she's got some really stunning ideas. I'm going to just bring this one down a bit further too. Going around to make sure I got all the outside lines covered. And it looks good. So we're going to let that set up. But she does, when she does her masking fluid, she masks everything. She masks her birds, she masks her flowers, she masks her fences that she might be doing, or a wooden stump out in the garden where the bird is sitting on and the flowers are growing around. So she does a lot of that, and I always thought, oh my God, that's a lot of work. But you know, it really isn't. And it really gives you the opportunity then to be fairly fluid with your background and not have to worry about getting your flowers full of the background color. Now, when you clean off your brush that's got the, I'm going to take my glove off. I'm going to just grab some of my paper towels here that I always have sitting here cutting up, and I wipe off as much of the masking fluid as I can, because I'm going to put this in my water and I don't want to blend it by accident into our paints. So I always kind of wipe off as much as I can, and there again, that pink soap is allowing that to happen. So now there's nothing coming off in my hand at all, and I can clean my brush and be assured that it's not going to be damaging my paints when I clean off my other brushes in the watercolor paints. All right, so we're going to let this dry. So when we get back together, you're going to get to see me do the background colors. So we'll see you then.